Today we have with us another young Indian as part of the Voice of the Young series. Hello everyone, good to be with you again. Today we have an economist, Sindhu Bharathi. Let's have her tell her story and her plans and her dreams. Over to you, Sindhu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts in this wonderful platform. Hello, everyone. I'm Sindhu Bharathi, and I'm working as a senior research analyst at Infinite Sum Modeling, a reputed policy research and management consulting firm, primarily based out of US, but has its operations across the world. In this role as senior analyst, I am handling economic modeling, data analytics, report writing and all that. And I also do manage the Indian operations of the firm. So maybe I'll start sharing my educational background. So that will give a prelude to the career phase that I have gone.
Start from high school and early days.
Sure.
So we want to know the early days too.
Sure, sir, sure. So I hail from a proper remote village in a corner of this Tamil Nadu. It's maybe from the name, if you go back and Google, you will find out how remote it is. It's Vadavedampatti. So it's a proper remote village, and even now we don't have the internet connection and all that. So it's that remote. And so since my young age, I have always been very committed in all my undertakings, be it schooling, be it studies, or whatever I undertook. I have always remained very committed. And when I was about to complete my 12th grade, I was very sure that I wanted to get into the reputed brand for engineering, because engineering was on a peak, and it was studying engineering was like fancy at those days. So I decided, I worked very hard during my 12th, and even from my LKGs to even from my younger age, say in the first grade, second grade, and all that, my parents have always have always wanted me to study and build, like, get the best of education that I can in that area. So they have always admitted me in the best of schools they can afford to, and I think I have made the best use of them. So once I completed my 12th grade, I think I scored around 94% and the engineering rank was around, it was less than thousands in the whole of Tamil Nadu. So I could get into a premier institute in Tamil Nadu. It's Ph.D, College of Technology. And the kind of people, the kind of environment, the ethos that prevailed there was like everything that I wanted to. So it is like people from humble backgrounds come and they build their career. They are like as committed as even more committed than I have been all my life. So it was actually a motivation for me to scale my career. But for some reason, after joining engineering, I took electrical and electronics, but in due course, like maybe in the second year or third year, I realized that that was not the thing that I wanted to study. That was not very interesting to me. The electrical part was not very interesting to me. And when I was about to complete my college, so I'm not sure if you know about the rituals and practices in our region, but in our region, they don't really let girls go for work or take up corporate job or even start up a business. So that's the kind of environment that's the kind of orthodox culture that's here. Even now it's there in a lot of families, but it's changing. It's changing. And given this, I think, given this, I was conditioned by my family that how much ever I score and whatever I study, I should be ready to get married to whoever they say, and focus on building my family whenever they say. So that was the condition that was there even when I was doing my undergraduation. So right after undergraduation, so I deferred all my placements because they did not want me to take up a job. And then once I completed my BE, I did write TANSET exam. It's an entrance examination in Tamil Nadu, and you have to take it up if you want to do MBA in any of the colleges in Tamil Nadu. So I did take it up, and even then there I came. I think I was one among the top 150 people in the state. So I started it was I would say it was not very intentional that I didn't prepare so much for the exam. I didn't focus on getting high grades, but it just happened and I had to start my MBA. So when I started my MBA, I had the best of faculties there. It was again a premier institute in Tamil Nadu, and there I got to meet Dr. Sangeeta. She is a well-learned professor in economics, and it was from her that I gained that interest in economics, because I never had an opportunity to learn economics like in the I did engineering, right? So I did not have an opportunity to learn economics before that. So when I loved the way she explained the concepts, that instilled a kind of curiosity in me, and I wanted to explore more and more. And I started, like, even then I would all the day, even my friends would mock me that I sit with newspapers all day. So
Hmm.
that was the kind of yeah. I also I think I had a very good circle of friends and family members from my young age. For example, if you take my family, my father, he was very smart. He outsmarted, and he just did his 10th. He was a 10th grade passed out, but he was very intelligent. That he the if you observe the conversations that happen in our family, even now if I get to talk to my father, it will be all about Trump, geopolitics, economics, business, all that. We don't discuss people at home. That was a condition we had even from a very young age. He did not let us watch these movies and fantasies, but he was very sure to expose us to the political world, economic world, and all that. So I think I had that habit of grabbing watching what is happening in the external world than focusing just around you. So that was there from my young age, and even in my college, I had the circle of friends that I had were very focused. They did want to they did want to explore more, and I think it's good to be in their company. It was good to be in their company. So that kind of an environment was there. And right after my MBA, I think I got married. My marriage got fixed when I was doing my MBA. So right after my MBA, I got married, and my husband was a businessman, so I was all set to handle the household chores. And I did that for some time. Before that, and after some time, I started getting bored of the mundane. And for the kind of dynamic person I have always remained throughout my, from my young age, it was very hard for me to, repeat that. I would never say that, you should not take up household chores or you should not do that and this, but it was boring for me. That's all. So I felt it boring to keep repeating the same stuff. And I started having conversations with him about him taking me to the business and all that. So I started going with him to office and learning about things there. But it was a textiles business. So I did not have, much to do there, and it did not interest me much. Then I think I went there for 1.5 years. And the typical culture in our area that when you get married, you should immediately have a kid. And if you don't get a kid, they'll start questioning you and all that. So when I love children always, and I wanted to have one, but it did not happen naturally. So I started, like, whenever you go to a function or whenever you had to visit people, the question of not being able to carry a baby was very intimidating. And I used to it used to hurt me like anything. So I stopped attending functions. I stopped talking to friends who had children, because I would at the end of the day feel that my body had betrayed me, not just me but the whole family,
Mhm.
just because it was not able to do one function of one of its function, which is happening with others. So I stopped socializing. I have always been very social. I have had a lot of friends. I have had my own circle since my young age. um though not the typical girlish circle, but I've had the circle of friends that I have of my kind, I would say. Then I had to push back, stay indoors and all that. But my husband and the family were very supportive, and they at one point he said that I think it's going beyond what is it was distorting our peace of mind. So he wanted we started traveling. That was one of the beautiful experiences I had. And traveling often changed the perspectives that I had. Say for example, when I started traveling, I started understanding that most of the people under this vast expanse of the sky are very beautiful, very humble, and very warming. So we don't have to keep bothering about that one person in 8 billion, right? So that was the kind of mindset I started developing when I started traveling. And when I started traveling, I think the kind of energy that I got, because it's good to be the magnificence of the nature. I started observing everything from a different angle, and life gave me. I mean, I felt like I had a new meaning. Uh, and then when I start, I mean, I took, I mean, I went to doctor and I had some treatments and all that. So that was in between. And when I conceived, even my conception journey was not very easy. I mean, the pregnancy journey, I had to be at rest and all that was there. But in between, I think I wanted to get out of the. I mean, I couldn't go to his office because it was far away, and my doctor advised that I should take some. I mean, I shouldn't travel for long. So I had to take break and stay at home. And in between, even then I wouldn't, I mean, I wouldn't watch TV or, pass away my time, while away my time. I started reading. I mean, I had the habit of reading books from young age, but I had more time. So I started reading more. And it was then that I realized that, I wanted to write. I don't know why, but I wanted to write. I wanted to write, articulate my experiences in writing. So it was then that I started writing, and the first one was, I think, about Rahul Dravid. I have been a fan of Rahul Dravid since my young age, and I remember every single activity of his, the batting style, everything I remember then, and I brought that into a blog. And then demonetization happened, and I also wrote a blog about it. So all that was there, and later when I delivered, I think the postpartum, I wouldn't say depression, it was kind of a blues that, I would go, I mean, maybe I'll tell this so you understand the magnitude of the depression that we have after delivery. So I used to go, touch my daughter's nose and feel if she's breathing. So that was the kind of depression that I had. And I would never like anybody, carrying her, touching her, and I was very insecure. I was feeling very insecure about all that. And if somebody would come home and say, she looks like your husband, I will start weeping for no reason. I mean, it feels odd now, but that was the case then. So I decided that it's getting overboard and it's disturbing my peace. And I wanted to stop everything. Then I understood that the only way to do so is to do something useful. Then I wanted, I was in my mother's place, and I said it was a very remote place in Tamil Nadu. One of my neighbor was going to tailoring classes. So I joined tailoring. I mean, the master said he can come home and teach me. So I learned tailoring from. So I have never been able to be idle all my life. And then, and after that, I think I continue to write my experiences on Facebook about the postpartum, about the pregnancy, about the infertility and all that. And one of my one of my friend, he's Mr. Vishagastranamam. He found it was when he, during that time only, he had also founded a business incubator in Coimbatore. So he called, in one of my posts, he commented and said that he wanted to talk and see how we can collaborate and all that. So that was a turning point, and I think I would forever be grateful to him, because it was, had he not been there to put me, take me, trust my abilities and give me an opportunity, I don't know how I would have broken through the barriers and accelerated forward. Then I started working in that business incubator. It's Forge. It's in Coimbatore. He was very wonderful. He was extremely wonderful that he gave me an opportunity to work from home way back in 2017.
Okay.
So work from home was not very popular during that time, right?
Right.
And they were very flexible. They were very understanding. The entire team was very understanding. They would, the kind of flexibility they gave me was amazing. I think that's the kind of culture that every mother needs. So I had that flexibility in the beginning stages. After some time, I kept writing on Facebook. If one thing had remained constant, I was not very active on LinkedIn then, as I am now, but I was very active on Facebook. Even now I'm so active on Facebook because I write a lot on geopolitics, business, and all that there. And I write in Tamil, so I have a lot of. I have some. I wanted to. I have some Tamil following base there, so I write there. And Then I got introduced to Dr. Badri, who I think you also know.
Yes.
And yeah, so I met him, and he was the first person to instill that PhD interest in me. The first time we met, he spoke of, we exchanged our ideas, and he gave me an opportunity to collaborate and work under him. And it was first part-time work. I was also doing freelance content writing in my free time then. So as a part of that, I joined Dr. Badri sir and helped him in his work. And eventually, so he when he and eventually his Miss Sumati, she joined Infinite and she was transitioning from her Amazon career to Infisum, and all of us joined together and started working at Infisum modeling. And I must say, it's been one amazing career. When I joined, maybe if I give this example, you would understand how dynamic and carrying the work environment is, the attached, personally attached to the work environment is. Um, so in the beginning, I had a small kid and I was not able to accommodate everything into my routine. I had a
Right.
very bad routine. I would work from between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. Sleep off by 2 a.m., wake up by 4 a.m. and all that was there. But she was very flexible. She was very concerning about. She was very concerned about my routine, that she instructed that no matter what, I can still remember what she said. No matter what, you're not having your laptop on after 9 p.m. So that was the
Mhm.
kind of,
Mhm.
I've always been blessed to have nice people around me. And she has been my mentor, my guide. Both Badri sir and Sumati ma'am have been guiding me like their own. And even now, like they are a part of my when people say that you are the sum of five people that you surround yourself with. I think I've most of my conversations, if you take in a day, are with both of them. And it's very enriching and an exciting experience to work in the organization. And the kind of learning when it comes to economics or the computable general equilibrium. When I say computable general equilibrium, when I joined or when I met Dr. Badri on the first day, I did not have an understanding of what it meant, except that I had Googled because he wanted to meet and I wanted to know something to know and to have an idea of what that means, because it would be odd, right? If I'm not able to build up the
Yeah. Can I
conversation.
just stop you for a second? She's
Sure.
using the term computable general equilibrium model. It's a type of economic model that she's talking about. Sorry to interrupt, but just to clarify. Continue, please.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for the clarification. I just took, I just assumed that it's very common, and I started. I mean, I was just talking because I'm used to it for like 4 years now, and I still wonder why. What made him hire me? Because I was not having that background that any economist would expect. But he and Sumati ma'am made sure that I kind of get the whole exposure. They were very patient. They taught me from Excel, RStudio, GTAP, everything that we are using. And if I rewind my career in the last 4 years, it's been it's one hill, or it's like an uphill journey always. I think nobody would who has worked in this company would disagree if I say that there isn't a day that we go to sleep without learning a new thing.
Mhm.
So that's the kind of thing. And they would make sure that they recognize our efforts. So even if we write a paper, or if we author, like if we contribute to a paper, or when we are a part of a project, they would make sure that we are part of the client meetings too. So
Mhm.
that's wonderful, right? To get in touch with the real business environment and feel it, like you will feel your own. That's the kind of that's the kind of feeling that I have for the company and for the for both Sumati ma'am and Badri sir. So that's about this company and the work that I do now. Um, and coming back, I think even now I keep myself, however busy the schedule is, however occupied things are around, I make sure that I'm active on all the social media platforms, because when I was into freelancing, or the employment opportunities that came to me are just through Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that.
Mhm.
So I think it's like if you ask my if you ask my father that if he was okay with me using my social media platforms when it's all started in 2010 and all that, for sure he was not okay. But once when all of them started understanding that things are falling into place and she's using it for productive reasons, I think everybody was okay.
Mm.
And so I think there is both good and the bad on social media. And kind of I think this is what I wanted to convey through the discussion that we are having now.
Mhm.
If there's a message that I wanted to pass on through fellow women, I wouldn't put it as an advice, because each of our problems are unique. Each of our nature, I mean, each of us are very different. And if there is one point that I would like to put it through, it's that effective usage of social media platforms. There is both good and the bad. Maybe I'll put it this way. Say in the let's take the age of our parents and even grandparents, when they had to discuss about other people, or when they had to show up to somebody else that they are they are leading a good life and all that, they would dress up well to a gathering that they occasionally meet, right? It was not usual like we do now. And they did not have an idea of what is happening in others lives until like they meet in person. Now that from the moment we get up in the morning until we close our day and push ourselves to bed, we have the gadget and we keep the mindless scrolling, and we get to know, though we often share quotes that motivational quotes and all that stating that we don't care about others, we are not worried about others judgment. But the very first thing that we do, at least the millennials and the gen Z's like us, the first thing that we do in the morning is to take up our mobiles, and not even LinkedIn, but we scroll Instagram and Facebook. That's the kind of
Okay.
thing that prevails here. So if you take that, I think what happens is somebody wants wants a husband like somebody else. Somebody wants an in-law, their in-laws to be like somebody else. So it is always that we want to benchmark. I want to, I mean, somebody feels that they want to travel to places that some other couple has traveled to. So that's the kind of life we that's the I think that's very toxic for either for professional reasons, because we relentlessly, I mean, we mindlessly went out a lot of time in social media platforms. And it's very important to be mindful of how we use and what we consume from that.
Okay.
If you take I have been very conscious about it right from the beginning. If you take my profile and see the number of profiles that I have put on mute, I have put on, I have unfollowed, will be greater than the profiles that I'm very selective about what I want to follow, and the kind of friends that I want to have on social media. I use it as a proper learning platform.
Okay.
I discuss business, I discuss politics, I share my thoughts. I write about the families, I write about relationship, everything, but I use it like very productively. And that's one thing. That's about the effective usage of social media platforms. And as the second thing that I have always thought about is women, we have like, if there is one thing that I would want to learn from men, it's this. Okay, men don't have, they have very less of complaints. Even if they had to shoulder everything, I mean, they don't. I don't see men complaining at all.
Mhm.
I think women also should have that tendency to stop complaining, and to stop taking these small things into mind. And if we imagine like after 5 years from now, the kind of skills that you gain, the kind of competencies that you gain will stay with you, and not the small talks and gossips and the usual like not so worthy talks that will stay for long, right? So
Mhm.
that's the kind of mindset that I think we in general should have. And I have never been like and there's also this the scarcity mindset. That's what I have learned it from Google sometimes back. That's like you always feel that when you see others, when you watch more of others, what they do, what they, I mean, how they live their life, it's okay to observe others and take inspiration from them, but it's not okay to mimic or replicate what they do throughout their day, right? So when that happens, you always feel scarce about yourself. like you don't feel grateful to what you have. The kind of the kind of conditioning that that we women should essentially make. Say, even if we go to Instagram these days, and there are a lot of influences around, and I see that even in the previous generation, my mothers and my mother-in-laws were far better. That's what I usually think, because when you see a post about an influencer posts a reel, there are like 1,000, 2,000 comments that that talks about their families, their problems, and all that. So it has become like a gossip platform, kind of. Again.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's not good, right? That's actually and the, one thing that even if our parents had into gossip and had to engage in small talks, it was a very small time of their routine. But because we have the mobile phones handy and we have the social media platforms right with us, right under our a click of the mouse, it has become very very accessible, that we tend to engage in all that. And yeah, it's important to draw the good things. And there's one more thing that I have noticed in women, or a lot of research has gone into it, and it says that women are tend to be women are more vulnerable to this imposter syndrome, where we tend to feel unworthy, scared of how much ever we accomplish. We always have that inadequate feeling within us. There's a sense of inadequacy that always prevails within us. That could also be because of lack of role models for us, as we strive up the ladder and all that. We don't have a lot of women leaders, and we don't have a lot of I mean, at least now it's there, but in general, if you take the ratio and all that, it's like that. It could be because of that, but there is also that superwoman hat that we all try to wear. We want to be the best parents. We want to be the best at work. We want to. It's okay to be inspiring. It's okay to have such an inspiration or such a motivation, but it gets bad, and it affects your productivity when things go overboard. So it's important to identify all that, and I think it's important to learn how we can stride up our career. And I have always been blessed to be surrounded by hardworking, committed people right from my childhood. Like my mother takes care of the family. She cooks, she cleans, she goes to office, she goes to farm, she manages everything, and she has no complaints about it. And after I married, I took inspiration from my father-in-law. He's extremely hardworking. I think he works like 12, 13 hours a day, and he has no complaints about it at all. So that not complaining mindset, I think, is something that makes you feel happy and contented about the kind of work that you do, and whatever you accomplish. I think, and it helped me overcome that imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Right.
And if I have missed one people, it's one important person in my life. It's my mother-in-law. She's a very gem of a person, and she, I think if I have to look back and talk about the kind of influences that I have had, one will be with friends, the family, both my parents and my in-laws family, and the kind of relationship that I have with my husband, as well as the professional relationships that I have had all my career, and especially now with the team at Infinite Sum Modeling. And even at home now with our daughter around, maybe in the beginning, myself and my husband are extremely opinionated. Of course, contrasting opinions about everything and anything. And that's when, the marriage, which already is adventurous, becomes wild, I would say. But we invested some time to learn and to make sure that we don't get distorted by external influences. Every now and then he keeps saying me that the only thing that you should care about is the family. I mean, if everything is okay, I mean, if the family members are okay with whatever you're doing, or if your friends are okay with, if the people that you care are okay with whatever you're doing, I think you should close your ears and keep focusing on what you do, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who matter to us, right? So I think I have always been, God has been great. I mean, God has been so kind that he has blessed me with wonderful people around. And the kind of conditioning, I think that has helped me a lot since my age, and even now while leading the family.
Okay. So where do you live now?
I live in Tirupur, sir.
Where
It's
is that?
it's in
Where?
Tamil Nadu. It's in
Okay.
Tamil Nadu. It's yeah.
Is it a
The
small
textile hub.
town? It's a small town
Yes,
or?
yes, sir. It's a small town. I'm not sure if you have heard of Coimbatore.
Yeah, I've heard of Coimbatore.
It's like 1 hour from Coimbatore.
I see. Okay, fine. So it's
The
still
textile hub of, yeah, it's very known. It's popular for textiles.
okay. So okay, that's why your husband's in the textile
Yeah.
business.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So good. So you are not even in Chennai or Coimbatore. You are in a smaller town.
Yes, sir. I am in a
But you are
smaller town.
international from that small town.
Yes, sir. That's what I would attribute it to the social media platform and the kind of network that I had. I wouldn't say it came just like that, but I had invested my efforts and energy into building a network.
Hmm.
And I think I missed that point that I have. I'm doing my PhD now, international economics and public policy, and
From where?
at National Institute of Technology, Trichy, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
And
doing
this
it as a
remote
part.
is remote or what? You are not going there.
Yes, sir. It's part-time, and I work from office. Yes.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. I mean, it's amazing. Your life is just amazing.
Thank you, sir.
It's
Thank you for
just
your kind words.
awesome, actually. Amazing is not the word, it's awesome. Okay. I mean,
Thank you so much, sir.
you have overcome, I mean, so many barriers and successfully. It's heartening to hear such a story. Any final words you have?
Nothing much, but I would like to conclude with this note of to the fellow women who are actually struggling at some point in life. I think all of us have our own struggles. Nobody is without struggles. And how you come out of it, how fast you come out of them, and how you keep learning at each point in life is all that it matters, and nothing else matters. Yeah, I think that's my
Okay.
conclusion.
All right, let's end it here and say bye to our viewers. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
I'll be back with another young person. Till then, bye.